Hi everyone, it's Ashley, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to share what I have been warming bin. As you can see, we have quite a bit, and I also have some candles to talk about as well. The setup is kind of a funny angle, but I tried to plug in my microphone, so hopefully the audio's decent here today. But let's just get right into it. So as you can see on top, I have some like non-wax things. Let's talk about those first. I just yesterday, I'm pretty sure, put in this Coastal Sunset fragrance flower, put it in, started it, you know what I mean? This is essentially, if you've never like heard of our fragrance flowers or you're new to Scentsy, this is like a reed diffuser type of situation, except for reeds, the oil gets sucked up out of the container through a pretty flower. So I personally prefer the look of these compared to a reed diffuser, and you don't have to worry about like flipping the reeds or anything like that. I much prefer it. This fragrance, however, I don't necessarily prefer. Coastal Sunset is not my favorite. I do believe this is available currently. Notes are creamy coconut, sandalwood, and amethyst amber. Those things all seem like they would be up my alley, but it's too woody. Like the coconut, it says creamy coconut, but it's almost like the outside of the coconut, like coconut husk. It's all just very woody. None of it is like the actual creamy inside of the coconut, in my opinion. Or there's just like more sandalwood that's outweighing it. Something is happening, and I just don't love that one. I never have. I think this is the third year it's been out. I still don't love it. But I got this in a whiff box last year. I got it in June of 2022, as you can see from the date. But I'm pretty sure it came to me in a whiff box because I would never have personally purchased this, and I clearly haven't like given it away or anything yet. So I just started it and was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. I put it in the laundry room, and the laundry room is pretty, has an air vent in there, and it kind of, where I have the fragrance flower is just so happens to kind of be right where the air vent hits. So it does get like not overwhelmingly strong, but you can definitely, like, it's very fragrant in there. And so I'm like, maybe this wasn't the best idea. Maybe I should have put it somewhere where I like didn't have a lot of airflow, but we'll see. I can obviously always move it. It's not that big of a deal. I could put it somewhere else in the house if I really need to. And then I also have a scent pack of Clean Breeze. So I get these in my bi-monthly Scentsy Club, and when they come in my bi-monthly Scentsy Club, then I remember to like switch them out of the places I have them. So I start these under the kitchen sink. So we have like our cleaning supplies down there. We have a garbage disposal, trash bags, random like leftover Walmart bags that we'll like put in as trash can liners, things like that. All that kind of lives underneath the sink, and it can just sometimes get a little bit stale. Not since I've started using these though. So I just have a command strip on the door of the, like, you open the door, you know, to get in the sink. I just have it right on the inside of the door, and I just hang this right in there. Then when my next shipment comes and I'm like, okay, I need to start a new one of these, because it's not like it loses its scent pretty fast. This is a really strong scent. First of all, Clean Breeze. Let me see if I can get the notes for you. It's like just straight up laundry and intense. It's white florals. It says, with a touch of spring in this is the scent of fresh, clean laundry. Yeah. So the notes are literally laundry and florals. Like, that's without the flowery description, it's literally just laundry and florals. It's straight up laundry and definitely strong. So it lasts a pretty long time. And also, since it's in this place that we don't necessarily like utilize a lot, it just is like brief opening, otherwise it's contained, I feel like it lasts forever. So after 2 months, when I get my next Scentsy Club, I put the new one on, and then I take the old one, and I had been putting it in the bottom of our trash bin. However, today when I replaced this, I was just finding, like, because it's on the outside of the liner, it just doesn't really do much to help control anything in the trash can, because like it's just blocked by the bag that's in the trash can. So what I decided to do instead just today, so I guess we'll see how it works, but I literally like put it on the outside of the trash can. So not in the bin at all. It's just like hanging outside of the can, and my hope was like anytime we open the can, like we have one of those ones you like step on and the lid opens. Anytime you like step to open it, it will like move because obviously the trash can is moving, and it will just like help make that area a little bit fresher. I have no idea if that's gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And the having it at the bottom of the bin wasn't helping anyway, so like it can't get worse. But my hope is like maybe just the whole area will make it a little better. Obviously, I'm not trying to like cover up the entire trash smell, because if it's that bad, like just take the trash out. But like sometimes it's just like it's not the best, but it's not like okay, this needs to go out, if that makes any sense. But yeah, if it's ever like so bad, I'm like, I'm not trying to cover this up. Like, let's just take it out. That's not the point. The point is not to like completely get rid of the trash smell. It's just to make it a little better. Okay, and then I also put in a car bar of Apricot Vanilla. This is also available right now. This is heirloom peach, apricot, and vanilla ice cream. This was actually pretty strong the first couple days I put it in. It's definitely calmed a little bit, but I am curious to see how long this truly lasts, because this isn't the strongest scent in wax. I personally really like it. It was though in the car and in the car bar, just a little bit overwhelming the first day. I was almost like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't have put this in. Like it was a little bit intense, but now that it's getting nicer and like the sun's out and it's a little bit warmer, I felt like just having a car bar and having the sun hit it kind of as it hangs in the car might be nice. So that's what I did. I put that in, and I got this a year ago. So I was like, may as well use it. Okay, let's talk about some scents. Let's talk about some new scents to start with. Oh my gosh, all these might be new scents, so I might be doing a lot of talking. Okay, I think all these are new scents and all of these are available right now, so I'm just gonna get into it. Let's start off with two that are coming available soon. They actually aren't even available yet. So first we have chamomile petals, which is going to be the scent of the month for April. Let me open this up. The notes are chamomile petals, jasmine, and apple. I was really nervous about this. I made samples with this bar. Well, Corey and I both kind of combo made samples, but this was just the bar for samples. So I haven't truly warmed this, but we did technically empty it. And it was melting to make the samples. I do get a lot of the apple out of here. It kind of is a little bit like hairspray, floral-esque, not gonna lie. But it wasn't bad while it was going. However, we just made samples, so it wasn't like going, you know, intensely throughout the house for hours and hours. Like we just melted it, made the samples, moved on to the next scent. So like, I don't have a great idea yet. If you're not into floral, I wouldn't like say go out and try it by any means. If you're like, you dabble into florals, I would maybe check it out. Obviously, if you're like really interested, but you're nervous about ordering a bar, ask your consultant for a sample. But I was surprised by this one. I thought I would hate it more than I do. Not saying it's a love and like I'm rushing to melt a bar in my house. That's not the case. But I'm not like scared to warm it like I was when I like saw it was going to be a floral. But I feel like we've always gotten a floral for April, like, which it makes sense. It's like the first month of spring officially, and you know, Easter and all the things. Like it makes sense why we get a floral, but I guess I'm just not a huge fan of florals. That's my own personal preference. Okay, next we have Blue Coconut Beach, and I'm gonna pull up the scent notes on this one online. I have my computer here right next to me to pull up the scent notes. I really like this one, you guys. It was kind of light though. However, I'm definitely gonna pick up the fragrance flower when it comes available on the 1st of April. Lush Palm Leaf shades creamy coconut and whipped vanilla beneath a bright blue sky. I love the scent of this. It was just a little bit light in the open concept. However, I do have liners in my warmers right now just for ease of changing my wax, because I'm trying to go like use things up a little faster. So because of that, I have liners put in, so it just helps me. Like I don't have to worry about changing the wax. I can just pop them out of liners. It does impact scent throw though. So part of me is like, I need to retest this. I need to test it in some different zones. because it was lighter, part of me is like, I should bring this to work. I know the work, like wax melting is kind of like a sensitive topic, but honestly, it was pretty light. However, like I said, add the liners in. We also like made fish today, which is just always so strong. And like this definitely couldn't compete against it. So this is not the last of me and Blue Coconut Beach that we'll be encountering each other, because I'm definitely going to be testing more of this because I really do love the scent. And you know me, even if the scent is light, but I love it, I'm not mad at getting more. Some people are like, oh, it just doesn't perform, so I'm not going to pick it up. Like, it really has to be a dud for me to just completely write it off. And I just don't feel like I gave it a fair shot. So I'm wanting to investigate further and test it more. But I do like this one. I feel like I just can't give it a very positive review. But also a lot of these, I feel like it'll be a common theme. Now that I put the liners in, like they just haven't been throwing super strong. I might need to move my warmers around a bit because I might not have them in the best places if I'm going to use the liners. So I need to do a reevaluation, I think, of my warmer situation. Okay, let's continue. I have I think I have all of the Easter bars again. I have pinkberry fluff, which I have 2 cubes left. This, I'm like slowly working through it. I feel like this has the marshmallow note that Scentsy does. That is like, I don't want to say the word dusty because I feel like that's going to be so negative, but it's kind of like so sweet that it's not sweet. AKA, I wanted to say the word dusty. Like something's just like, you know how when you eat marshmallows, they're just like so sweet that you taste something else? Like that's exactly the marshmallow note that Scentsy uses, I think. But in this one, and I can start to smell the food. Corey's cooking downstairs. Like I just like totally got a whiff of it. That was so funny. I was like, it smells like taco meat. No, that's Corey's cooking. It's very, very marshmallow-like, but I think it's just not what I want. It's a decent performer. Like I melted it when I also did strawberry pound cake in the candle because I was like, oh, maybe they'll like kind of go together well. And just this just made it off, and I had to turn this off to keep the candle going because I like the candle scent more. And I don't know if it's whatever they're referring to as pink berry, because like marshmallow and vanilla bean, like that sounds amazing, but something is just off in here. I don't know. Like I feel like it should be like pink haze, but pink haze to me is personally just way better. So like I don't know what's different in here, and part of me thinks it's whatever this is, pink berry. I don't know. I just like want to love it, but I don't as much as I want to. And then we have Violet Spun Sugar. This one is tart cloudberries meet violet water and spun sugar for a celebration of whimsy. This one reminds me, it makes me feel like it wants to be Starburst Sky, but then it has violet. I like it, but it's not likable enough to replace Starburst Sky for me. Like they smell so similar, but this is like the younger sister who wants to be the older sister. Like that's just what it makes me think of. And maybe I feel like it's because it has violet, because I don't personally like violet. Like I don't smell this and think, oh, it has violet. But when it was going, I was like, this wants to be Starburst Sky, but something about it is not. Also, I feel like the performance, I liked how Starburst Sky performed more, which some people didn't. But like I said, maybe it's the violet, maybe it's the tartness. It says tart cloudberries. Maybe that's why. Like it's not as sweet, but it is very, very sweet. But something about it is not what I fully want. And so it's very similar to Starburst Sky, but it's just not enough for me to be like, I want to club it. I definitely am going to finish this. And I guess if I melt these 4 cubes and I feel differently, obviously I will report back. But when I was going, I was like, you know, I just want to love it. And I'm always kind of like, when these bundles come out, I'm like, oh, I want to love at least one to put in my club. Don't know why I do that, because that's so unnecessary. But I was like, oh, which one of these is like my favorite? You know, I can pick one from this collection. And that was kind of the contender, but I'm like, I don't, like, I'm clearly telling myself I don't love it as much as Starburst Sky. So there, I have my answer. Like, I don't need to put it in my club. Okay, Mandarin Zest, same situation, 4 cubes. Sweet mandarin and watery pear bring out sunshine and blue skies with a hint of vanilla. This just reminds me of like fresh and cleaning with a little bit of fruitiness. It's just like so fresh. I totally enjoy this one. It's just not something I want to continue to rebuy. Like, it's super fresh. It's got that hint of fruitiness. It kind of gives me like a soapy vibe. Like, it reminds me of body wash because it kind of feels soapy for some reason. I feel like I've said this before. And I mean, it says watery pear. Like, it really does remind me of just like sudsing up in the shower. And it's really nice, but it's not something I'm just like dying to have more of. And I do have more of it. So like, I don't need to like put it in my club, I guess what I'm saying. Okay. I think everything else is new bars. And I feel like I've been talking forever and haven't even talked about my candles yet. Okay, so let's just start. I have Lake My Day. I only have 2 cubes left, which I'm gonna leave for Corey because I felt like in the open concept, and like I said, this is gonna be a common theme. It could be because I have the liners in. I probably need to move my warmers around, but I feel like I just really couldn't smell this one. Lake Waves, Crisp Bergamot, and Fresh Oak Moss. It was really just like a nice fresh scent in the background. And like certain days I kind of want that. I'm not all about the like completely overwhelming scent like 24/7 anymore. I'm just trying to kind of like figure out what I want, where I want it. But this one, it was almost like I didn't know it was going. And so I thought for sure Corey would comment and be like, oh, like cool, like my day's going, I really like this. But I felt like it was just so much in the background, you couldn't even tell. So I'm gonna let him use these up. In his office, this was like so strong. And like I said, I think it's part of the liners situation. I think that's part of why I'm struggling with some of these. So, but it's making it way easier for me to use things. So I need to do some investigation, obviously. Maybe I just need to, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like I could do the 2 warmer dish situation, but if I'm gonna do that, I may as well just like pry it out with the spatula. I don't know, I'm conflicted, obviously. We have Mountain Sunset. Let me read you notes. Wild Bluebell, Warm Woods, Golden Amber. I personally don't love this, I think, as much as I thought I did originally. It's nice, but it's starting to really feel like White Amber and Silk, which I don't love. This one has coconut in it. I don't know if White Amber and Silk has coconut in it. That one's not available, so not positive. But this one is better, but something about it reminds me of that, and so I feel like it's just a little bit off for me. And it's very linen-like it's cottony kind of, like a beach towel almost. And I think that's the association I'm getting that makes it similar to White Amber and Silk, which I didn't love, so it kind of turns me off. But once again, I left 2 cubes for Corey because he loves both of these, so he can happily use those. Next we have Sugar Blossom. This is the alleged bakery of the new scents. Golden Blossoms, sugared citrus, and vanilla. I'll be honest, I turned this off of the warmers. I didn't even let it go the whole time, like all night long. I let it go maybe 2 hours, maybe. That sounds so bad, but honestly, I let it go. It like pulled out and I was like, it's a no. It's just floral and citrus. Like, you couldn't be further away from bakery. What is this? I know Hannah said this in her video, like, just because it has vanilla doesn't mean it's a bakery scent. Like, they don't have to say, like, why did they say this is a bakery? Because it's really not. I would hate to like order this thinking I'm gonna get a nice bakery scent, which if you read the notes, like, it doesn't appear that it's bakery anyway. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to get a 6-pack of things in the bakery section, and you order one of these and you're like, this is not bakery whatsoever. Yeah, I literally took it out. I don't know what I'm going to do with these last 4 cubes. Maybe I'll try to mix it with like a vanilla bean buttercream or something, but it's not bakery. Let me just straight up tell you, I was not a fan, to be honest. I think it's pretty clear since I turned the warmer off. We have Woodland Meadow. I did 4 of these. It says Woodland Wildflowers, Forest Canopy, Bergamot, and Amber. This one actually wasn't so bad. This kind of actually reminds me of the smell of the bar we were in last night. That's so funny. It just, I feel like initially when I smelled it, it was kind of like woody, but it does feel more fresh to me personally now. I don't know that I would say I got like a specific, like, oh, I got a ton of floral woodland wildflowers. I feel like it says bergamot and amber at the end. Like, it was just kind of like fresh and a little bit like kind of cologne-y. Kind of. But like, I actually enjoyed it more than I did on Cold Sniff. I feel like on Cold Sniff, I just really judged it kind of harshly, but it really doesn't seem very woody anymore. It just more so seems fresh. Yeah, I don't know that now that I've like actually put some of these in warmers and they've sat for a little bit and like it's not total first sniffs. Like, I really am getting different notes out of all these. Banana leaf and bamboo. This is white peach, banana leaf, aged bamboo, and sheer mahogany. I think I did this on St. Patty's Day for some reason. I literally thought this was Peace Lily Be With You when I had it in the warmers. And I was like, gosh, I really thought I liked this more on cold. And I really, like, it's okay, but I really thought I liked it more because it was the wrong scent. Like, it's just straight up fresh. It's fine. It's green. I don't love it. I mean, it's okay. Maybe if I got more peach and it was like fruitier, I just don't love it. That's why I like, I don't know. I literally was like, really, I really thought I liked this more. And I think because the outsides kind of look the same, I just was like not thinking. But then the next day I pulled this out, Peace Lily Be With You, and I was like, oh yeah, this one has white wax. This is the one I thought I was gonna like. So this is white peace lily, green apple, water greens, and vanilla. So this one I actually get more of the apple, and I like this one way more. As soon as I put it in, I was like, yep, this is the one. I messed up. I literally thought I did this yesterday, but obviously I wasn't like paying attention to the, like, what it was called. I was just like, oh, it's the green one. And like, I like the green one. So this one, I definitely get the green apple. It says water greens. Like, it is kind of like a, not aquatic. Like, I don't want to give that impression, but it is kind of watery in a way. Yeah, I definitely get the green apple though, which I do like. I'm not like obsessed with it, but out of the new releases, it's kind of towards the top for me, which is kind of funny because like I feel like they just went so, not niche per se, but like very specific in some of these scent combos, and some of them just don't appeal to me. So I haven't yet melted mango matcha. I think Corey's done that one, or tropic nectar. I also haven't done raspberry hibiscus tea, but I don't actually have any of that on hand. Somebody bought the ones I had and I don't really care for it. So like, I'm totally fine not having it. But I think tropic nectar could potentially be my favorite. But I also haven't done mango matcha, but I don't really like have high hopes for that one necessarily, but it's still on my list to do. So all of these is still have cubes, except for the Lake My Day and Mountain Sunset. I'm going to give these to Corey to work on. The others will go back into the melting basket. Same with these. And then let's talk about candles quickly. Let's do a flip-flop here. The candle crate is heavy because I got a lot in it. Okay. There's not like that much, but it's just heavy because it's candles. If you're not here for the candles, thank you for tuning in. See you next time. I'm hopefully going to try to get more on a weekly schedule with these. Okay. I did continue to work on our light and bark candle we made in Arizona. It didn't like pull out the best this last time I did it. But I am still working my way down on this. This is just a banana bread scent, and I kind of like just want to get it done and like keep the vessel. So there is that one. I did work on mint chocolate chip milkshake. I'm pretty sure this is going to be coming back. I've burned this a couple times. I tried to mark it. So I burned this a couple times. It didn't like completely pull this last time. But when I do these in the morning, I have like a hard cutoff to go to work. So it's not like I can just wait a few more minutes for it to pull out. Like when I need to leave, I need to leave. So I put them out. These types of things don't really bother me like they bother some people because I know it'll correct itself. But this one actually throws pretty good. To me, this one is a lot more mint milkshake than chocolate chip. Like I don't really get a lot of chocolate in here, which I think if I did, Corey would start complaining because he does not like chocolate and mint together, but he hasn't said anything about that one so far at least. I worked on some country candle, coconut, and marshmallow. This one is very much like it has to really pull out until the scent starts to throw. And then when it like is fully pulled out, I feel like you can smell it, but until then it's almost like, is this even going? Like what the heck? And then all of a sudden it's fully pulled out and it's kind of like woof, like especially if you're like in and out of the room, I feel like you can really start to notice it. Until then, I literally was like right next to the candle and I was like, is this even going? Like clearly it's lit. But it really had to pull out. And I feel like I didn't necessarily experience that exact situation with some of my other country candles. This is still like the old paraffin, as you can see. But yeah, that was just kind of interesting. So we'll see as I continue to burn it. Strawberry pound cake, working on this one. I absolutely love this one. This one is struggling to fully pull out, as you can tell, but this one will definitely go in the crock before the end of its life because I just freaking love it. It's so dang good. But yeah, I've really been enjoying that one. And then we've also been working on Lakeside Morning. I don't know how long I will like let this one kind of hang out. I was doing this a lot with the Winter's Eve. I mean, as you can see, that was since the last time we chatted in one of these videos. So that's kind of a lot for me, but this is one of my older candles. This and the strawberry pound cake are both from mid 2021, like 122, 125. Those were the days they were poured in 2021. They're kind of old. Let's talk about this one, which I actually did a short on. It's the Homeworks Cinnamon Sugar Marshmallow. This, I cannot get it to smell or throw. I don't know why. It's just like not a thing. So not entirely sure. I have another one of these that I might gift to my mother for her birthday. I know that probably sounds odd because I'm like, I can't smell it, but I had it going while she was here and she was like, oh, like I love this. And I was like, I can't smell it. So I might give the other one to her. I might pop this wax out and put it in my crock. It's kind of full, so I'm kind of nervous. Like it might be really full in a Bath & Body Works jar in my candle crock, but I think I'm gonna do it and just see if it does better. Because like I've burned it 2 times and I'm like, I can't smell this at all. However, this next Homeworks candle I have to talk about, which is super noisy because it has one of those like hobnail glass lids. This is the Toasted Vanilla Cupcake from Homeworks in this like fancy hobnail packaging. This is so good and it's so strong. The day I did this, it's almost like when you put your nose in it, like almost too cloying, but going in the house, it was so beautiful. Vanilla, caramel, sugar, cream, vanilla bean. It's like all sweet 24/7 all the time. Like that's the only known here. But it pulled out really nicely for being in this. Like there's just a little bit where it kind of is on the sides. I didn't mark this at all just because like with this packaging, I really didn't know how, but it's fine. I could not believe how well it pulled and how strong it was and like how much it threw. I was totally blown away. I'm obsessed. It was so freaking good. I was nervous it was going to be like too heavy because literally smelling it on cold, it's like so intense. I was nervous it was going to be a little too heavy, but in the cold mornings, like, oh, it's been really nice. So I have a lot of those, only 2 in the hobnail packaging, but I think I have at least 1 other, potentially more. So like I have a lot of those. I was like, I definitely need to go through some of these. So that's everything I've been melting and burning for the week. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.